नमस्कार, कैसे हैं? And coming at
Samangot! General salute! Salam yes!
The dignitaries of our Kerala is Dr. William of the Captain Williamson Sangma State University and will declare the university open. Proud moment for all of us. Let us capture ourselves as this is our university, our asset.
Thomas Sangma, Chief Advisor to Chief Minister and MLA of North Tura constituency. Our Commissioner and Secretary for Education, Dr. BDR Tiwari, our Secretary for Education, all the other officials of the Education Department, Deputy Commissioner of West Garo Hills District, our Vice Chancellor of the University, the Registrar and all the other officials, different principals of different colleges from Garo Hills and different parts of the state, and most importantly all the citizens of different parts of Garo Hills and the state of Meghalaya who have come here to witness and to be part of this historic and a landmark day, kind of a historic day for each and every one of us. At the very outset, I thank God Almighty for blessing us with this day, and more importantly for blessing us with this university. This is a red letter day for all of us. It's been 50 years of our statehood, and though many things have happened, many things have changed, many things have moved forward, but it has taken us 50 years to have our own university. And it's a matter of pride and a matter of honor for all of us that on the 50th year of our statehood, this Golden Jubilee celebration, that we are inaugurating this building, and that too in the name of Captain Williamson Sangma, who was our first Chief Minister when the state was formed. And therefore, it is very befitting that on the 50th year, we remember him and dedicate this college, this university, which is named after him, to the people of our state. As was mentioned by many people before me, this was a technical university, and limited courses were supposed to be taught here. But because of different circumstances and different challenges that we faced in the previous years, And also in order to ensure that we have our own university, the cabinet had decided that this technical university should be converted into a full-fledged state university. And for that, necessary steps have been taken, and we are awaiting the proposal or the ordinance to be ratified by the Honorable Governor. Once that is done, the official ordinance will be notified, and we will be able to start the different functioning and different courses from this very campus. As was rightly said by the Vice Chancellor, that this infrastructure that we have is not enough, and that we need to work towards creating a proper blueprint and a master plan to ensure that this university has all the necessary facilities that are required by the students and for a university to function in a proper manner. Let me assure all of you that that is exactly what our plan is. Apart from basic things like the boundary wall, which has been sanctioned now, and we expect the work to start soon. We have already sanctioned the road connectivity from the main road up to the campus and this building out here, for which also we expect the work to start very soon. And as suggested, we have already started working on a larger picture and larger plan on where this university should go in the coming years. As mentioned earlier, this was supposed to be a technical university, and hence the scope and the plan was limited. But now, with the overall expansion of this into a full-fledged university, we'll need to work out on detailed plans to make the entire university function in a much better manner. And more steps will have to be taken to ensure that we strengthen the overall system and the process to make this university, our first state university, into one of the better and, yes, in the coming future, the best university in the region. Friends, education has been one of the top priorities for this government. I remember in 2018, when we had taken over, I was given a presentation on the 2,600 government LP schools, which were either in a completely dilapidated condition or were in a very bad condition where students could not study. We took it upon ourselves, in spite of the financial challenges, that we will improve the overall infrastructure in the government LP schools. And in the last 5 years, I'm happy to inform you that close to 500 crores has been spent to improve the overall infrastructure in different schools, built up new buildings in different areas where the buildings were no longer usable. And sanction has been done and work has been allotted so that the rest of the schools where we were not able to complete the work earlier, that enough funds and the work for the improvement of those schools will start. I expect that to happen anytime in a day or two, where the works will be allotted. I think some have already been done, and we expect the works to start within a couple of weeks' time. So slowly and steadily we are moving towards ensuring that infrastructures improve. I remember 2018, in my first visit to Bakmara, I went to the college, again Captain Williamson Sangma College, and we saw the condition in which the students were studying. And it was hard to believe that a college could function like that. There were dangerous points where the floor was cracking. And anything could happen to the students or to the faculty. And we decided immediately that not just in Bakmara College, but all the other government colleges which do not have proper infrastructure, immediate funds will be given to ensure that the building work starts. And I'm happy to see that in all the locations, in Sora and in William Nagar, the building is almost completed. Maybe another 10-15% is left. And in Bakmara also we are seeing fast improvement in the construction. And hopefully within this calendar year itself, we should be able to see all the 3 buildings being inaugurated. Apart from that, many other areas of reforms in terms of training and other aspects in terms of policy, which are pending for a very, very long time, have been taken up under this government. And therefore, I feel very happy and satisfied to look back at this last 5 years and see the kind of work that has gone into education and see that the overall level of education goes up. But while I say that, I'm not saying that everything is changed. Education maybe, or most probably is, one of the most complicated sectors in the state today. One of the most complicated departments in the state today. One of the most challenging departments in the state today. We have numerous categories of teachers, almost 26 categories of teachers are there. We have different categories who we need to support, but at the same time there is no actual way of monitoring the working of those schools. There's very little say from the government side, though the financial impact is there, of over 2,000 crores which we have to spend for different ad hoc and deficit schools and colleges. And yet government does not have a detailed say, and that's why we came out with the Education Commission, which will now look into the overall functioning of all the different schools and education institutions. A very, very major and important step. And we also realize that we cannot go for drastic steps in one go, because it's like a system which is running, a system which requires nurturing. And if we try to push too hard, we might see the system fall. And that may create even bigger challenges for us. And hence a delicate approach is required. And hence all these things came into our mind, but slowly and steadily we have moved forward, one by one, trying to, untie the knots that have come out and trying to clear up the picture in the education department so that at the end we're able to provide the right education to our children. We realize that there is a large dropout rate. There is not enough space in colleges for our students to study in. And though we're coming up with a number of government colleges, maybe the speed at which we can come out may not be sufficient. And hence the concept of people's colleges come up, where financial support is given and different posts, sanctioned posts is given to different colleges. And I'm happy to see that already 9 are functional and we have sanctioned another 12. And I can assure you that in the coming days and years, as we move along, we're hopeful that the government will ensure that more and more of these people's college comes out so that our children, our youth, who need the proper guidance, who need the proper facilities, who need the infrastructure, the accessibility, get that particular accessibility and the education that they deserve. Friends, we have a large challenge in front of us. And this large challenge is the youth of our state. People say that the youth is our greatest strength, and I believe it is our greatest strength. But it is also our greatest challenge. If we are not able to guide them in the right way, and I keep repeating this, if we are not able to guide our youth in the right way, they will become the biggest destructive force for our society. But if we can nurture them and guide them in the right manner, they will become the greatest constructive force for this nation. And that depends on us. That depends on you and me and the society, on how we will ensure that the energy of this youth, the greatest strength of our country today, is used in the right manner and channelized in the right manner so that it becomes the most powerful force to take our state forward. And it is these institutions like these, it is the policies that we create, it is the programs that we allow them to have sports and music, art, culture. Give them the opportunity. Our energy of the youth needs to be channelized. They want it to be channelized. And hence, friends, when we talk about education, it's not just one picture of just education. The subject and the center is the youth. And all the other things we do around in our programs and policies as a government and as a society go around this youth out here. The youth is at the center of all of it. Whether it's sports, it's the youth. Whether it's culture, whether it's music, whether it's education, whether it's different kind of substance abuse issues that we are talking about, the dream project that we've come up with. We need to realize that this building is here. But the purpose of this building and the purpose of each one of us sitting here today is not to ensure that this building finishes or comes out in the right way. It is to be able to ensure that the youth that we are targeting, that they should be given the right guidance that they deserve and the right opportunity. Our focus and our purpose and our mission is the youth of our state and our nation. We should not forget that mission and that focus. Everything else revolves around that. And therefore, when we sit in a classroom and we're teaching somebody, we should not be looking at the course that we're trying to finish. We should not be saying that the classroom is going to get over at 12:30. But we are working with the purpose to see that every single student sitting in my classroom is going to come out as a responsible, God-fearing citizen of this country. And until and unless we don't approach the education sector with that mission and purpose in our mind, we are failing in our duty to be able to provide the right education to our children. And that is why it's very important that we keep reminding ourselves, what is it that we are here for? What is our purpose? Why are we creating these universities? It is to mold and to create better citizens, productive citizens, responsible citizens, God-fearing citizens, citizens who respect our elders, citizens who are patriotic and love the country. I hope that this university will become a temple and an institution to ensure that we are able to create such responsible and productive youth for the future of our state. Friends, I would love to have continued here and stayed here with all of you, but I have multiple programs in Shillong. There is a wonderful program of our women commandos passing out today, the first batch of women commandos. I think it's a great moment for all women as well as for all of us that today we are seeing such kind of things happening. I will also be inaugurating today the second 5-star hotel in our state. So after Taj Vivanta, we are having the Marriott Hotel today being inaugurated. So that will happen at 6 o'clock. We'll also be inaugurating a 200-seater call center in Shillong today. Another opportunity for our youth to be able to get the employment that they deserve. This morning I inaugurated the museum under the Tribal Affairs Ministry along with the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council in Chidekri. A really beautiful and wonderful museum. I think all of you should go and see it. It's a great marvel, I should say, and a great building. I think one of the best looking buildings in our region at least. And I'm sure that one of the better ones in the entire state. We also inaugurated the road that goes all the way to Nokrek. And this road also will usher in a huge opportunity for tourism for our people and creation of self-employment. And I'm sure that it will be a great blessing for all of us. And hence, it's a great day. I've also laid the foundation stone today of what we're calling the mini secretariat in Tura. And this is a mini secretariat is a integrated administrative complex. And the idea is to bring in all the departments under one roof. We realize that many departments don't have buildings also. They're working from rented spaces. So all of them will get the space in this integrated building. The chief minister's cabinet the room will be there. A cabinet room will be there. Different ministers' room will be there, so that whenever ministers come, they can actually sit and they can have discussions. The same setup is being created in Juwai. The same setup is being created in Peninsula. And we'll try our best to ensure that this kind of a complex comes up in different parts of the state, so that administration is unified and we are able to provide prompt and good service to the people of our state. And this kind of integrated administrative system is not just in a building format, but even in policy and administrative reforms that we're doing for overall governance, including the IT and the e-governance projects that we're doing. All of these are steps towards ensuring that the public delivery service delivery is done at a much, much faster pace, much more convenient way, and so that it's more user-friendly for the people of our state. And hence, these are kind of very good and innovative projects that were started today. We've also handed over the Tura beautification project today to the municipal board. That's another step forward. And I hope that the people of Tura especially will maintain and will respect these beautification projects and ensure that they treat these projects as their own and not to damage these projects. I would like to appeal to all the citizens of our state and of Tura town especially, to ensure that whatever assets are created, these don't belong to the government. These are yours. And hence it is your and my duty to protect it. So every time you see somebody trying to damage any property that belongs to the government, remember that you have a share in it. It is yours, it belongs to you also. And it is a duty of every citizen of our state to respect and to maintain and to protect all the assets that have been created by the government. So friends, I will not take much time. There is a lot that I wanted to say about the university, but this is the start. Let me assure you, we have very big plans for this university. I want things to be at a level that people will not be able to imagine. Just before coming to this program, I was telling a gathering in the auditorium today that there was a time when people used to look at Meghalaya state, all the northeast states, and say, these states will never be able to make it. These are majority tribal areas. They're very backward. They will not be able to compete at the national level. But today, I'm happy to tell you that we are competing at the national level. Meghalaya is today one of the best performing states in JJM. We were at the bottom in 2018, and today we are at one of the best states. We were one of the worst performing states in MG and REGS, and today we are one of the best states. We were one of the worst performing states in the country in PMGSY, where every minister would come and say, hey, Meghalaya is here. And they should never expect that any work will happen in our state, or in the northeast region for the matter of fact. But today you're seeing an entire region, and in our state especially, things are changing. People are starting to believe, our people and people from outside the state are starting to believe that actually Meghalaya can change and Meghalaya can show the way. When the Jal Shakti minister came to Delhi, to Shillong, in his speech he said that the model that Meghalaya is following for Jal Jeevan Mission is a model that should be adopted by the rest of the country. I think these are real powerful words that he used, and really kind of a testimony as to how things are changing. Process has started, 50 years have gone. It is time for us to now dream and plan and work towards the next 50 years, so that the generations that will come after us will look back and say, yes, that our elders who had taken the government or had worked towards in the government or worked in the education sector at that time when we were just at the dawn of the next 50 years of our statehood. At the end of the centenary celebration when we look back, the people at that time will then say good things about us and say that, yes, they did the right thing, they laid the right foundation, they took the right decision, and because of those decisions, we are here today, Meghalaya, in, this would be which year? 50 years from now, 2072. So in 2072, when I think most of us will not be here anymore, let the people then look back and say that we did the right things. And I hope that with that vision, with that far-sightedness, with that goal in mind, not about just today, tomorrow, or small projects, we can't work thinking in small ways. We have to think big, we have to dream big, we have to think of 50, 100 years down the line. I think that's what leadership is about, that's what work is all about, that's what dreams are about. And I hope that in the days to come, we all will work as a team to be able to really provide that vision, the foundation, and the goals for our future generation. So friends, I said I am very, very late, but this is a great moment. I'm very, very feeling emotional because this is really a historic moment for us. And I don't know how many of you can feel it and realize what this means to us, but those who realize what this means, I'm sure are feeling the same way that I am. That this is going to be a beginning of a lot of very, very important things for our state. And this should have been done a long time back in terms of a full-fledged university, but it's never too late. And I wish our Vice-Chancellor, I wish our entire team out here the very best. May God give them the guidance and the wisdom and the entire guidance to ensure that we are able to take this university in the right direction. I really wish the entire team the very best. I thank the Education Department for all the work that they're doing to making this university come to where it is. And I'm sure that they will work much harder now to create the kind of model university that we would want this to be one day. May God bless Captain Williamson Sangma University. May God bless the entire team that is working here. And may God bless each and every one of you who's come here for this very, very important program. Thank you very much. Kublai Shibun, Matela, Jai Hind.